Sixth edition applications are now open. The world needs your marine bio-based solution now more than ever. We believe it is not possible to save the ocean without changing our current economic model. Blue BioValue is an international accelerator of startups along the value chain of marine bioresources, helping to tackle the world's biggest challenges.
When you don't see it, you don't live with it every day, you don't take any action. You just talk about it. Blue BioValue is on totally contrary. They actually take action to it. They actually make things happen. They actually organize this cohort, this program, to make more people with the same mindset to work together. And I'm very proud to be this part of a wonderful community.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blue BioValue Acceleration Meet and Greet. I'm Marta, Blue BioValue Acceleration Program Manager. And today we have with us Patricia from Exogenous Therapeutics and Eugene from Sophie's Bionutrients. These were two of the startups that participated in Blue BioValue Acceleration 2022, and they were both winners of the program. Patricia and Eugene will tell us about their experience during the program, and they are open to answer any questions you may have. Please do feel free to interact as much as possible by posting all of your questions on the chat. We'll go into detail on Patricia's and Eugene's experience in Blue BioValue, but first let me start by introducing you the program. Blue BioValue Acceleration is a 10-week equity-free impact acceleration program dedicated to supporting the growth and scale of sustainable marine bio-based projects and companies from all over the world. Carlos Gulbenkian Foundation and Oceano Azul Foundation founded the program back in 2018, and MADE, together with Blue Bio Alliance, will be implementing and managing the program. The program will start in September 25th and end on December 7th, followed by 12 weeks of ongoing support, and applications close on June 5th. We will select up to 20 companies to work with us during this period, and these companies will receive an individualized support throughout the program, together with relevant networking opportunities with key players in the ecosystem to support the startups with their main priorities. I believe that there is no one better to explain how it is to participate in the program than our alumni. And that's why we invited Eugene and Patricia for being here today. Thank you both for sharing with all the attendees here your experience when participating in the program. As you know, I have some questions prepared, but would love for our public to share their questions as well in the chat. So maybe we can go ahead and start, and I can ask you both to quickly introduce yourselves and explain briefly what innovative solutions based on blue biotechnology your companies are developing, so our audience can have some initial context. Maybe you can go, Eugene.
Okay, so my name is Eugene Wang. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Sophie's Bionutrients. We work on fermentation technology to grow microalgae for alternative protein. This is actually my second startup. My first startup was in California. We made plant-based seafood called Sophie's Kitchen, and because of that, I got the inspiration to work on this second project. Participating in Blue BioValue program was really a mind-blowing experience. I have to be quite honest with you guys, is that this will be the first in my personal experiences, and possibly yours, of such a program that purely 100% focused on blue economy. You know, we've been talking about blue economy a lot. Ocean covers more than 70% of our planet. There's so many issues going on in the ocean, and that actually affect a lot what we're experiencing on the land. But quite frankly, the solution that's being provided, that been coming up by the entrepreneurs, are scarcely scattered around different parts of the world. And compared to a lot of the terrestrial solutions, we really have a program like this to make everybody to come together and know each other, networking with each other, and know what other solutions are out there and potentially can help what you are working on. Say, for example, one of the idea that I just came up when I was in the program is that our technology can be a perfect solution to the aqua feed industry. Because quite frankly, the first and foremost ingredient, which I just learned by participating in the Blue Bio Value program, is that the first ingredient of a lot of the aqua feed is actually soy meal and pea meal. And that's a pity. If we can use our technology and make that first ingredient to be chlorella meal, that will be a wonderful solution to the whole ecosystem and will be an extra revenue for our startup as well. So that is one of the many examples that I encountered during the program. I believe you would have more questions for me. I'll stop right there, but just to show you how wonderful this program is. Thank you.
Thank you, Eugene, for the intro. Patricia, can you briefly introduce yourself and Exogenous Therapeutics?
Definitely. So I'm with Exogenous Therapeutics. As the name says, we develop therapeutic solutions. We work with extracellular vesicles. These are tiny, tiny nanovesicles, much smaller than a cell. And they are very important in passing messages between cells. So we believe in the potential of these vesicles to for therapeutic applications, but also for other type of applications. And having worked now, the company is almost 8 years this summer. So having worked 8 years in therapeutics, we were looking to expand to other fields. And we also wanted to explore other sources for these vesicles. So we always work with a mindset of circular economy. We always try to use waste materials to create new products. And that's what we wanted to do with the new product as well. So we decided to take so with the original concept of the company, the waste material is umbilical cord blood for therapeutic applications. And for this new project, we decided to use microalgae waste. And what is the major waste that you have from the microalgae industry? That's actually the water that you use to grow them. So you grow the microalgae, you isolate the biomass, and then you have lots of water that even needs to be treated before you discard it. So that's when we talked to companies about this, they did not see this as having a big economic cost. Water is still at the moment quite cheap, but it definitely has an environmental impact, and we wanted to tackle that. So our proposal was to take this water, extract these vesicles from the water because they are released into the water, and then we want to apply it for cosmetic purposes because our experience has been very much dealing with skin, so we feel comfortable going into this area. Participating in Blue Bio Value, as Eugene said, was excellent. The program is very well organized. You don't feel alone at any moment. And again, like Eugene said, you can work on your idea with the context that you make here, but I think we will talk more about that in a second.
Thank you both of you. Eugene, you already kind of answered this question, but just to check if there's anything else you wanted to add on how was for you to participate in BBV with the Sophie's Bio nutrients, and how did the program surprise you?
You know, I think the number one surprise is still Lisbon, Portugal. I've been I was born and grew up in Taiwan, by the way. Spent my whole younghood in Asia, and then went to States for college and then work. Been there for 20 years, and then came to Singapore for another 4 years, starting Sophie's Bio before coming to Europe. So I was I'm a totally stranger to Lisbon, to Portugal ecosystem before joining the Blue Bio program. And then thanks to Blue Bio Value program, I learned firsthand that there are so many wonderful blue economy participants, researchers, and even financial sponsors out of Portugal. And quite frankly, if you are in the blue economy, you cannot ignore, you cannot pass Portugal. You have to learn more about Portugal because quite honestly, there's so many things happening in Portugal. You really have to go there to know. Let me give you another example. We just learned from a college in Portugal. They have a library of more than 5,000 different strains of microalgae. This is surprising. In the States, I get access to UTEX for about 3,000 strains. I have another access to University of Hawaii that was about 1,000 strains. It was mind-blowing that the school in Portugal had more than 5,000 strains of microalgae in their data bank. And 80% plus are from local Portugal waters. Think about it. How wonderful, how tremendous value it will be for us to tap into that data bank going forward with our work. And had I not joined Blue Bio Value Program, I wouldn't know this school. I wouldn't get our hands into their data bank and their work. And so that's just one of the many reasons why you should join Blue Bio Value Program.
Thank you, Eugene. In a bit, we'll go into how it was for an international company to participate in a program that is based in Portugal, at least a few weeks that happened here in person. But for now, Patricia, what kind of support can a founder expect during the program?
So the main support that you can get, I would say, is networking. And that's also what I would advise to you is to come to the program with a bit of flexibility on your idea and it's still developing your concept, because you will get access to a huge network that you can use. And if somebody is not there in the network, you can bring a name with you or several names with you, and they will make it happen for you to make a contact with this person or these people. So if you already have an idea extremely formed and you just want to attract funding, this is maybe not the program, although you will have access to funders. But what is the key, really the star point of the program is the network that you get to build. So we got to work on our business plan. We got to work on where to target our product better. We did not have a business concept yet completely defined, so we got a lot of help with that on the program. They also help you with the pitch. They help you contact investors as well. So that was fantastic in the program.
Nice. I see that Afonso Rebelo de Sousa, that is our pitch expert, is actually here in the session. Yeah, and so also to complement a bit on Patricia's answers, there's also a lot of focus on knowledge in these fields. So yeah, thank you. Yes. Thank you so much.
And Afonso was really very helpful. It was not just, giving comments that are meaningless. The advice that you get is proper advice that helps you advance your project and also your pitch.
Perfect. Eugene, I think you already touched on this, but how relevant for startups working in the blue bioeconomy industry do you think were the networking opportunities and meetings that Patricia also mentioned now? And I think you agree, so that the Portuguese ecosystem is so relevant to startups in the blue bio industry. Maybe just to give a heads up, not only with algae focus, because both of your startups do have them, but in other areas as well.
Right. So talking about blue economy, Portugal is really the perfect location, at least in Europe, and possibly even throughout the world, for a blue economy startup or even corporate to develop their business to begin with. Why? Well, look at Portugal. It's a small country surrounded by ocean, and the key words are small and ocean. I want, don't get me wrong. Small doesn't mean anything bad here, because quite frankly, this is what I experienced. I'm currently in Paris. I have a lot of trouble getting around with my English because not a lot of people here speak English. Same thing happened with Spain and a lot of other European countries. Whereas in Portugal, a lot of people speak wonderful English, and that will help you establish your business presence in Portugal. That's number one. And number two thing about small is the fact that everybody knows everybody, especially in blue economy. So just a few questions, it will get you to the right place and the right people. And on top of that, surrounding by ocean, Portugal has everything more than just microalgae. Everything from the aqua farms, schools, the what do you call it? The macroalgae, including the macroalgae research and startups, and even the government entities who are heavily supporting all these initiatives. So Portugal really is a place that you should check out. Although there are some other places around the world that you can possibly get a similar value, but I would say Portugal, because it's geographically close to Europe and it serves the European market pretty well by being part of the EU country, you really should check out the program in the country if you're in blue economy.
Thank you. And Patricia, can you tell us how the Blue Bio Acceleration Program contributed to the development of your startup?
So we had help from Blue Bio Value in different parts of our project. I will mention a few. One of them was to meet key industry people that helped validate our idea. It helped us also improve our idea here and there. And it also helped us see how much value our idea had. Just to give you an example, we were proposing to extract these vesicles from the water of microalgae cultivation, but we did not actually know how valuable is this for the industry. You know, they are focusing on biomass. Are we going to add a lot more to that? Because they would need, if you propose this to a microalgae industry, they would need to make a certain level of investment to also extract the vesicles, and that might not be worth it. So we talked with someone from a microalgae company, and they helped us. They made a quick calculation, and we figured out that actually the vesicles are worth more, potentially more than the biomass. So that's very good for us. And we did not know this at first, and now we can say, hey, we validated this with a key industry leader. Then the other point that we got help in was the development of our business plan. We did not have a very concrete way forward. And by talking with people in Blue Bio Value, we developed a bit more where we wanted to go, who we wanted to contact, what are the first steps and the second steps. So that was very good. Then the pitch with Afonso, he also gave us help with the pitch. We also got help with the appearance of the pitch, because we are scientists and we don't always make things look pretty, but you have people in BBV that can help you with that. And lastly, also the visibility that we got from winning this program is a prestigious program, and that opened doors for us with investors. Then we had investors coming to us and say, hey, let's talk. And this was very beneficial for us. So nice. Definitely try, apply. It's a great program. Cannot say enough good things about it.
Eugene, you and your company are based in the Netherlands, and you already mentioned a bit on Portugal and why Portugal, but what was the biggest value brought by the program to your startup specifically, and in what ways do you consider it can support other international programs, companies?
So I think before joining the program, we are already doing some work in Portugal. And so that's why initially we want to join the program. But we didn't get to see a lot. We didn't get to know a lot about Portugal before joining the program. Because why? This is what happened. We were using a contract manufacturer and a contract research company to do our research work and our manufacturing work. It was not until we joined the program we know that there are more potential opportunity to tap into, number one, research institutes, meaning schools. Number two, research grants, especially provided by Portugal government, that we can do a lot more than what we used to do before joining the program. And so for international companies, especially, Portugal is a very open economy itself. We were told, I haven't done anything yet, but we're thinking of it, is that setting up a company in Portugal is like less than, 2 days, 3 days only. And then everything is so easy. And then but the most important thing is that with a entity set up in Portugal, you get to tap into a lot of the needed resources for your blue economy startup to thrive and fly in this ecosystem. Don't get me wrong, the investors here especially are very attuned to blue economy. After the program, we were talking to two, actually, we were initially talking to 5 and then now down to 2 investors that we're still engaging at the moment. And so you can see that all these are not going to happen if we're not joining the program. And so by the same token, I would strongly encourage you guys to think about it.
And Patricia, on the other hand, you are based in Portugal. Your startup was created in Portugal, and you already mentioned a bit of the networking and meeting investors and other types of players. Anything you want to add on how it was for you to access this support with the key players in the blue biotech ecosystem specifically?
Yes, so some of the players we already knew, but others we did not know. So again, like I said, network was the big point of this program. A network that is very close to us because we're right here in Portugal. So why not access what you have that is good and that is next to you? Then what is also very good about being in Portugal and working as Blue is that blue biotechnology, blue economy is already and is also becoming more strongly as a brand of Portugal, I would say. That Portugal also wants to invest in making blue its brand. And that's good for us because we get to access very, very good resources that the country has. There's universities, companies, but also, like Eugene mentioned, there is some funding also available in that. And hopefully is good for Portugal to be investing in this field and to have some ideas coming from young companies.
Nice. And so both of your startups were the winners, 2 of the 3 startups that won the last edition, and you were awarded each 15,000 euros to be spent in the services in the Blue Demo network. How did you use the awards, Eugene? Because I know you already used it, and how was the impact this service had on Sophie's Bionutrients?
It was perfect. It came at the right time. We were short on fund on some of the research project, and this money showed up at the right moment. So like I said, we had quite a lot of work ongoing with Portugal before joining the program already. And believe it or not, we just shipped out of our contract manufacturer in Portugal for about close to 100 kg of goods. That may sound small, but you have to understand we're startup, we're pre-revenue startup. So that first 2 or 3 orders are really milestone and significant. And with Portugal, we cannot make it happen. So the money was used at the very, very right moment. That's what I can say, And the money is not small either. I don't know the amount this year, but I guess in this economy, at the time we were having a 15,000 euro, it's not small. So, yeah.
Yeah, the amount this year is the same. It's 45,000 euros to be spent by the winners. So it really depends on if it's 3 winners, 2 or 1. And Patricia, how are you planning to use the award?
Yeah, we are talking with a company here. Ideally, we would like to squeeze it into 2 goals. One of them is to make a larger scale pilot of extracting these vesicles from the water. Mm-hmm. So we can do it in our lab, but we need to increase capacity, and we want to do a pilot test on that. Also with different type of equipment, see if the result is the same. And then we would also very much like to work with another group to test how bioactive these vesicles are for cosmetics. So how good are they in preventing skin aging, things like that. We would also like to our main goal is to do the pilot on the extraction, but we would like to do the second part as well, at least start.
Nice. And you are already in conversations with the Blue Bio Alliance on that?
Yes.
Nice. This is great to hear as well. And Patricia, during the Blue Bio Valley Acceleration, you were part of a cohort of 18 startups. all working towards a more sustainable ocean. Can you share with us how was your experience of being part of these cohorts and participating in the program with this specific group of startups and people?
Yeah, it was really a great experience. Everyone, I cannot speak to how it was in other years, but in our year, it was fantastic. Everyone had come with very inspiring ideas, very driven to not just, start a company, but also have an impact, a positive impact in the world. So it was very inspiring to see all these people get to work. I would also say that there was no animosity between the companies. Everything was so harmonious. People would help each other. And in our specific case, we even thought about collaborating with some of the participants. We still think about collaborating with some of the participants if the opportunity comes. So there you make also another contact to write grants and develop further ideas together.
Nice, perfect. And Eugene, what advice would you give to a founder on how to take the most advantage of Blue Bio Valley Acceleration?
Well, I would say definitely number one is to just fill out the application and then try to apply to the program. And if you got selected, don't forget, you got to come to Lisbon. You got to come join the program for that. Very immersed, I think it's 2 weeks, right? Yeah, 2 weeks of still this year, right? 2 weeks of experiences. The program pay for your hotel and a lot of expenses, so don't worry about the financial aspect of it. Enjoy the city, enjoy the partnership you have among other cohorts, because just like Patricia was saying, we built up a really deep connection among all ourselves. Similar to Patricia, we're also working with 2 other startups from the same cohort at the moment. So hopefully some collaboration will bear fruits and make it wonderful, even better for everyone. And so really, to utilize, to enjoy the program, you got to apply. And once you got selected, try to take every moment to utilize what the program has given to you.
Nice. And just to add that this year, it's 2 weeks in group in Portugal, but we have had an extra week in Portugal to test. So the startups have the opportunity to have in-person meetings with the key players that we have been talking about. So an extra week in Portugal for the startups that are interested in having in-person meetings with the ecosystem players. You were touching, Eugene, on the application process. I don't know if you remember because you applied 1 year ago, but then we had 2 interview phases and the final pitch online with the foundations. How was the application process for you?
Application process was very smooth, but one thing I did remember very vividly is that the program emphasized a lot about team. And so we have to brought in our members together on some of the meetings, the interviews, and that was really good, because that was what entrepreneurs or startups should be about, about team, and so it was the right focus, and was but it was sort of one of the first few experiences for me that a program like this emphasized so much on the team, and then even ask the team members to be on the interview calls, and that was very impressive to me. So
nice. And Patricia and Joanna, that is Patricia's co-founder, also participated in the program, and during almost the entire program, the 2 of you were present for all the sessions, right, Patricia?
Yes, we were present for all the online sessions and also in person in Lisbon. That is the question, Marta? Sorry.
Yes, exactly. And how did you leverage from being the 2 of you present in all the sessions and even the weeks in Portugal?
Yeah, so we had agreed on the beginning that I would be more involved time-wise. Joanna is the CEO of Exogenous, and she could not dedicate so much to the program. So I was involved in everything, and then Joanna would participate in a lot of the calls, and she was also in person in Lisbon, also for the pitch. Time-wise, I would actually advise you to try, I know it's difficult when you have your company and you have your work running to carve out time to attend the program because things need to keep running, but try to carve out some time for it to really make the most of it, because you can, if you dedicate a little bit, also if you do some research on whom you would like to meet, that can really save you time in the future, which is very important.
Yeah, exactly. What we mention normally in terms of time dedication is around 8 hours per week, split it during several days. And I think you can validate that that is more or less what happens normally, not more than that, at least in the weeks online. And then the weeks in person are a bit more intensive because it's a bit more packed schedule, but we also try to give you time for you guys to take care, obviously, of your startup. And we know that's your priority to manage your company.
I can confirm that we did also job interviews. We were hiring someone for our company and we did job interviews at Maze's office. So.
Perfect. And Eugene, do you have any further advice to give to the applicant for the coming edition?
Well, I guess the only advice is just to reach out to me and Patricia if you want to learn more on a personal level. What you may have some different kind of questions that you want to ask, or some different kind of experiences you want to know. Can that be found in the program? And feel free to reach out to us, because quite frankly, everybody's needs, every startup's needs are different. And you may have a different technology that is looking for different kind of partnership or different kind of support that you want from the program. The Blue Bio people, including Marta, they can answer quite well already. But on a if you want the answer from a startup entrepreneur point of view, feel free to reach out to us, and then we will be more than happy to answer any of the questions.
Thank you, Eugene. And Patricia, any advice on your side?
Yes, other than try to make time for it, I would say, and bring also your list of people you would like to contact. I would say be open to talk to people and companies that don't directly relate to what you're doing. In our case, we had a very good example of a company that was not doing, it was completely unrelated to what we are doing, but the way they were doing it could apply to our concept. So you can also get inspiration for things that are unrelated to your specific project.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
I concur strongly on Patricia's point. Look at people from other, working on some other technology. It will give you some amazing surprise quite often. Yeah.
Nice. I'd like to thank you both and each of you for joining us today. I hope we answered all your questions. And if you still have questions, please. We have 2 questions. Perfect. Eugene's business is in blue economy and food. Patricia is in blue economy and cosmetics. Was there any coordination or networking through the program with key contacts on the cross-sectorial side to propel that aspect of the business? And the second question is, what is the goal of the foundations in setting up the program? Why are they investing in it? And what broader goals do they hope to achieve? I can answer the foundations one, but maybe Patricia or Angie can answer the first one.
Yeah. So when we participated in Blue Bio Value, we were focusing a lot on the blue part. The cosmetics comes a little bit further ahead, but we also, so in the blue part, yes, there were obviously contacts made in the blue economy. Then in cosmetics, because that was a bit further ahead, there was not so much investment in there, but we also got contacts of people, somebody who was an investor in another Portuguese company that is doing cosmetics. So we had a contact there, somebody who was working for a big firm that also does cosmetics. So yes, there is an effort to do this search for you.
Eugene, maybe you want to add something?
Yeah, and quite frankly, Patricia and my startup, we can collaborate together already. You know, because I mean, that's right.
We talked about that during the program.
Talked about it as well. That's right. But we are not so ready Now our volume is still quite tiny at this stage, so that have to be saved for the future. But other than with Patricia, we are also working with another startup from Chile or Peru, I forgot, Alejandra, and then they are working on something using microalgae protein to do other stuff. So that's what we're cooking on. But other than that, like I just partially, I don't know if you hear, Tasha, we were very intrigued with the aqua feed business. Although that's not directly related to human food, but it is indirectly related to human food. And quite honestly, even though our mission is coming up with this sustainable alternative protein for human consumption, but animal protein is not going to go away. Aqua farms are going to stay. Will always be people who want to eat fishes, and how to make that sector more resilient, more sustainable. We could be part of it. And so with the knowledge and network that we got from Blue Bio Value, we're actually talking to a school that is researching on the aqua feed in Portugal. And that's how we get connected about these 5,000 different strains of microalgae data bank. And we're thinking of trying to see a way to make our protein relevant to the aqua feed business. And that together will help our food supply chain more resilient down the road.
Yeah, and maybe thank you both, but I can also add that we had other startups working in other types of applications, and not using only microalgae, but using other types of marine bioresources, and with very different applications. And we focused a lot on the networking part, depending on what were the challenges and priorities of each startup, in making also connections depending on their needs. For example, we connected with a startup from 2 years ago edition, and not last year, with retail contacts in the market, not blue bio focused or blue economy focused, but focused on their end user and selling their product. Just to give an example that we can for sure apply, and we do it, the type of connections and the type of networking focus depending on the needs and priorities of the startup during the time of the program. And now
I would really underline this, because if you bring your list of people with whom you would like to talk, be open to talking to other people, but also bring your own list, because they can help you. It's much easier to go through someone, if you just shoot an email to some person you don't know, they're just going to delete it. But if they get this email from someone they know, there you have a door to the person.
With the Blue Bio Alliance, they are a huge help in these connections. And we also do a lot of work on identify together with the startups what are the different types of profiles, even when they don't know yet the name of the person they want to meet, but different types of profiles, company, commercial partners, etc., that would be beneficial for them to meet. And we do a lot of focus on finding these profiles and getting in contact with them. So yeah, I think I hope your question was answered, Tasha. And if you have any other question, you have also my link there, so we can book a call and I can answer everything. But regarding your question number 2, both Carlos Gulbenkian Foundation and the Oceano Azul Foundation have a very big focus in the blue economy and the blue biotechnology. And they believe that investing in a program like Blue Bio Value Acceleration that also has the ideation part, so earlier stage projects, they are contributing to the development and to the development of this economy, and obviously to the conservation and maintenance of our oceans. So they are investing in the program because they believe this is the indirect but possible way to reach as many startups as possible for them to have a positive impact in the ocean. So
Marta, I think I can also add, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there is also a move now from the Portuguese government to invest in blue. They want to make the blue sector really a brand of Portugal, right?
Yes, there is a very big focus in this sector nowadays. So the foundations actually came in advance because they founded the program in 2018. So this will be the 6th edition of the program. So it's very good to, this year is going to be an important year for the blue economy in Portugal as well. Perfect. I don't know if there are any other questions. I sent you on the chat the link for application and also to book a call with me for scouting conversation if you are interested. So in case you have any other questions, let us know. You can also, as Eugene already mentioned, contact Eugene and Patricia. Keep in mind that applications close on June 5th and that the program will start on September 25th. And we will be here to support you during the application process. Thank you so much, Patricia and Eugene, for joining us. It was amazing to hear your perspective on the program as well.
Thank you. Don't be afraid to apply. Also, if you think your TRL is too low, we thought our TRL was too low, and we ended up being one of the winners. So
exactly.
Try it as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.